new Classics come with a multiplex system made by Firefly, and this is your main controller here. So if we hit the home button, we come up to this main screen, and in the first level here we're going to have our tanks. So we have our fresh black and gray tank levels and our LP bottles 1 and 2. So it tells how much is in each bottle and each tank. Next we're going to have tank heaters, so we can turn the tank heaters on and off if we're going to be camping in cold weather. The next is your water pump. If we hit the water pump on and water pump off, that's going to actually, if you're boondocking and you're using the fresh tank, you can actually use the water in that system. The next set of buttons are your table up and down. So the dinette table, if we want to lower the dinette table to make into a bed, we can actually lower that down, make a bed out of it, and then we can actually put it back up with the button. The next button here is your inverter. So if we turn that on, that's going to power your power lounge in the front and your TVs and Blu-ray players if you're not connected to a 30 amp or 50 amp service. Turn that off. The next is your DC power. The DC power tells you how many volts DC are present in the trailer at this time. Right now we're at 13.5 volts. The next switch is your main. So we hit our main switch here, and that's going to control your lights in your main part of your cabin, your main ceiling lights, your master on and off, your front locker, galley, front accent lights, and dinette area. So that's going to control the main area up on your light pad that you have in the front of the trailer. So that's what that one controls there. If we use the master on and off, if we turn the master lights off, when we hit that switch there, we actually turn everything off in the trailer that's on the master switch. We hit the on, it turns everything back on the same way it was off. If you want to turn everything on, even though they weren't on before when you turn them off, if you push and hold for 3 seconds, that'll turn everything on in the brightness, pure bright at that point. The next switch is your rear. So if we hit our rear switch, we're going to come up with the lighting that's in the bedroom area. So we have our master lights on and off in the bedroom. We have our bed ceiling, bed reading, locker lights, bed base, your bathroom light, and your shower light at this point. So we could turn those on and off just like we could before. And there is a pad in the bathroom and in the bedroom area as well. Exterior lights. Now these are the lights here on the outside of the trailer. So if I want to master on and off, I can turn all the lights on outside that was on before. So if I turn the entry door light, the grab handle, the patio light, and then we have the awning light on as well. Then if I could turn master off, it turns all of them off at one time. The next button is the awning button. Now if you hit the awning button, we notice that the awning is locked at this point. So when we hook our tow vehicle up to our trailer, we plug our 7-way cable in. As soon as you hit the brake pedal, that automatically locks that awning, so the awning cannot be controlled while you're driving. So we want to unlock the awning. So now that we unlock the awning, and if you listen, I hear the awning going out. So if we hit close, we can bring that awning back in. And then you have tilt front and tilt rear of the awning with this control as well. The next button is our settings button. So we hit our settings button, and in this section here, you can control the brightness of your pad. So if I want to hit this down, we can turn that really low. So people who are sleeping in this area, if you're watching TV and you don't want the pad to kind of interfere with that, you can turn that brightness down. Down here tells me that we're in a 30 Classic with a queen bed. There is a 30 Classic with a twin that has a couple different control pads at that point. The next button is our auxiliary. So once we hit the auxiliary button, we have the bath fan on and off. So if I hit this button here, it turns the fan on, it turns the fan off. And if I want to lift the bed up, I hit this button here, and that's going to tilt the bed up for the storage underneath. And if we hit the down button, that lowers it back down into the sleeping position. With the multiplex system and the Firefly, we have a distribution panel that replaces the traditional fuses. It's behind this panel here, so we pop this off. And now we have, in this panel here, we have resettable breakers. And then if you look down here, it tells you what resettable breaker works what component. So if we look here, we got our bedroom reading light. So if that were to trip, that's number 1. We can actually look down here at B1, and this would be the resettable breaker for that one. If we see a red light, we know that we have a trip breaker. We can go down to the corresponding breaker and reset it. It's pretty simple, and it's really laid out really well. The multiplex system, Firefly, also has control panels in the bedroom in the front area. This is one of two in the queen model in the bedroom area. There's one here and one over the bed. This one here actually has your bed lift up and down buttons, your master on and off, your bed exit lights. If we actually push on like the reading light, we can push on it and it's going to just turn it on and off. But if we actually turn it on and hold it, we can actually change how dim it gets and bright it gets. So we can change the brightness of the lights by holding it in. And then again, if I want to turn it off, I just push and let go. It'll slowly dim the light and turn it off. Same thing with the other lights in here and in the shower light as well. And then we have a master on and off. So when you're ready to go to bed and you want to shut all the lights off in the trailer, you just hit the off button that turns everything off. And then we have a panel display light, which if I hold that and let go, it's going to slowly dim the lights on the panels and turn them off for sleeping. The controller by the main door is located here. We have a battery disconnect switch on this, which if we turn that off, that turns all the 12-volt power off to the trailer. So we can get to the campsite, we turn that on, it's going to turn everything on. And if I hit the interior master light switch, I can turn all the lights on. If I hold the switch in, it will turn all the interior lights on at max setting. So if you had some set halfway on brightness, it'll turn it all the way up. Same thing with the exterior. If I hold that and I can turn on all the exterior lights all at once. Or I can go through and turn on one at a time and turn them off one at a time with the light switches up top. The awning lock switch down here on the bottom right, that is engaged every time you have your tow vehicle hooked to the trailer and you push on the brake, you illuminate the tail lights. That's going to lock the awning from coming out. So the awning will not work once you hook your tow vehicle up and you start to drive. To unlock it, you just want to push on the bottom of the switch and you'll hear a click and that'll unlock the awning. At that time, you can actually open or close the awning and then run the tilt front and rear.